Business Insight segment this week. This episode, we learn about types of business entities. Welcome to our Business Insight segment. I'm here today with Vince Carosella with Carosella and Associates PC, attorneys at law. Thanks for being here, Vince.
It's a pleasure. Happy to be here.
So today we're going to talk about types of businesses. So if you're starting a new business, what kind of options that they have to form their business?
Well, there's a lot of options. Some are good, some are bad. The simplest option would be just to be a sole proprietor. You open up a business, you have your name on it, and that's it. Off you go.
That's not the most protective option, right?
No. And similar to that would be a partnership. Let's say you want to go into business with another person. The two of you just set up your business and you just start conducting business. The problem with that is that either you alone or the two people are going to be personally liable for everything that happens in that company. So in order to avoid that, you want to look at some entities, which are just, under the law, they're defined as a person, so that that person gets sued instead of this person.
Right.
So the way that would work is you could form, traditionally you could form a corporation. People have formed C corporations and S corporations. The C and S simply denotes how they're being taxed, which we can talk about later if you like. But the other way to do it would be a limited liability company. They're relatively new under the law. I think they came out starting around 1996 or a little bit before that.
Right. That's what we started as.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, a limited liability company. It gives you the best of both worlds because with corporations you have a certain amount of formality that you have to follow. Like, for example, you have to have a meeting of the shareholders and directors at least once a year. Even if you're by yourself, you have to pretend you had a meeting. There has to be minutes in your book. If you don't have those meetings, you're going to incur personal liability. People don't realize that. I have clients, they formed a company 20 years ago. They haven't had a single meeting. It's an easy way to pierce the corporate veil if you haven't been following that corporate form. But with a limited liability company, you don't have to have those annual meetings. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So it gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you the informality of a partnership or a sole proprietorship, but it gives you the protection that a corporation is going to give you.
Gotcha. Great. So you talked about tax liability potential challenges. So what's some of those? How are these different entities taxed?
Well, the thing is, if you were to form a C corporation or an S corporation, a C corporation simply it's an IRS subchapter, and the way that works is that with the C corporation, you would be taxed, the corporation would be taxed, it files a tax return, pays taxes. Then when you take the money out of the corporation, it's a dividend to you, so you pay taxes again. So it's basically double taxation, which you generally wouldn't want.
Not good.
There's certain types of businesses that require a C corporation, but a small business person generally wouldn't need that. If you were going to have an S corporation taxation, if you want to form an S corporation, that simply means that the corporation will do a tax return, but then any profits or losses on that tax return passes through to you, the individual shareholders, which is a good way to do it. In fact, that's how I have my business set up. It's an S corporation, and it's worked well for me over the years. We've been in business for 25 years.
Wow.
The limited liability company, though, what's good about that is you can pick how you want to be taxed. So you can say, I want to be taxed as a sole proprietor, fine, or I want to be taxed as a C corporation or an S corporation. Generally speaking, depending on what type of business it is, you would either pick sole proprietor or S corporation.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Vince, for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Vince, for that valuable information. If you have a topic you'd like on this segment, let us know by commenting on our YouTube channel.